I've spent the past 4 years turning my 10-month, $5,000 spiritual training program into an online school that you can do for yourself on your own time, at your own pace, and by your own will and choices, which is really good because this means you can train yourself without needing a live teacher, to set you on the right path, because the right path is available and you'll know it's correct because it gets results. I've spent my entire life in spiritual training, and really to get what it is I've done here, you need to know that at 15, I was given 10 years to live, and I'll be 57 in a couple weeks. This training I do, it's about body language. It's about your internal body language, the things you feel in your body, the thoughts you think, the things you project outside of you, the filters that you have that keep information from getting in. What really matters as far as your spirituality is your sense of innocence. And that's what I work towards, because when you find that innocence, suddenly the spiritual powers that you think you're looking for, they just appear. It is your natural birthright, and it's buried deep within you, all of the spiritual powers that you're looking for. That's why you're looking for them, because you know you should have them, right? And I'm talking about the power to manifest. Use your imagination to create the life you'd like, or things to show up in your life that you'd like. Intuition, to know what's going on and to know what's going to happen, right? Those things matter a lot. The sense of your size, how big you are, huh? Do you feel small in the world, or do you feel big? Your sense of connection, how connected are you to the world and to the universe? These things expand. They are amazing when they do. And those abilities, the intuition, the manifestation, the knowing what's going on, really the power of love, all of these things are real, and you can train yourself to use them. But to get there, the first thing you need to do is you get to heal yourself. You need to clear out of your body old traumas, old upsets, old stresses that your body is still holding on to. And that's a lot easier than it sounds. You do it online at my school. I've spent 20 years unraveling why our bodies hold on to old stress and old traumas. And I don't mean the memory, the picture, right? The pictures are always going to be there. I'm talking about the emotional charge that's stuck on the picture. If you can get your body to let go of that emotional charge, you become free of your history. And that doesn't mean the pictures go away. It means that you are, it means that your history will no longer define who you are. And that matters tremendously, because the past can't tell you who you are. It can only tell you who you were. And if you're stuck spinning your wheels about who you were, you're not really going to enjoy being alive right here, right now. And that's really the key. This training, it's about becoming more present, having our attention for right here, right now, so that we can see the world as it really is, as opposed to, through the filters that our mind puts up in front of us. So the world is an unconditionally loving place that is deeply connected, and really that provides everything that you ask of it. English is not my first language, so I do get tongue-tied sometimes. It's just that if you're manifesting things that you don't like, that doesn't mean that you're not able to manifest, right? It means that you're manifesting things that you don't like, and everything that happens in your life are things that you manifest. And I get that that's hard to hear. Maybe that's things you don't like, or you think that those things are someone else's fault. As long as you believe that, you're going to be stuck. So I'm offering you an opportunity to unstick yourself, to recognize that you are the source of your life. And if you're willing to fall into that place, I can show you, actually, I'm going to show you how to show yourself how to access the amazing spiritual life that you can have, that is so deeply connected that everything you think of just appears. And you sort of look at somebody or something, or think about something, and you suddenly have all the information you need about it. That's the nature of real connection, and it's the nature of real spirituality. Now, I'm not into being anybody's guru. I did this for myself, and I've created a program that you can do for yourself. So that is what we have going on at the Your Body Never Lies College, is solo self-training that you do at your own pace. And when you do, your body will start letting go of all those things that you don't like. And I know that some of those things you don't like, you think they're outside of yourself, or you think they're not fixable because it's just who you are. And I guarantee you that's not the case. I was a basket case 30 years ago. I mean, I was sexually and physically abused as a child. It scrambled me, complex PTSD, and I was lashing out and feeling disconnected and upset. And this training that really comes from teachings I had from Patrick Collard years ago, this training, it unravels why our bodies hold on to old stress, why that old stress gets replayed in our head, and it stops. When your history no longer gets replayed in your head, you can really enjoy life for what it is right here, right now, all the time. And, that is real spiritual training. Now, there's a lot of training out there. There's a lot of stuff you can do. A lot of it just doesn't work. You feel good for a week or two, and then you go back to your old self. And with this training, with Your Body Never Lies, because it's focused on your internal body language, the exercises at the college, what you do for yourself when you do the exercises is you are resetting your internal body language. And that's really the key. The good news is that the exercises are simple and basic, and they are not really far out. This is not a complicated training. It's actually simple. And it's so simple that it's difficult. It's difficult to see how it might even work, but it really does. And the example I'm giving you today, right now, is don't judge. Right? That's actually an exercise in one of the first classes, is teach yourself to not judge, which means don't label things as good or bad or good and evil. Just don't label them at all. Just let them be how they are. Stop judging. And the way you do that is you discontinue measuring and comparing. So stop comparing things. Just let them be how they are. Stop comparing apples to oranges or apples to Porsches. It doesn't really work anyway, right? When you do measure stuff and compare stuff and then judge it, make one better than the other, then the one that's better you get attracted to, and the one that is less than, you stay away from. And if you've labeled it as evil, you really stay away from it. But really what you've done there is you set off landmines in your world. So some things that you judge as bad, you stay away from, and things that you judge as good, you gravitate towards. But that sets you up for failure. Sets you up for big, big failure, because your judgments are all based in the past and have nothing to do with right here, right now. If you can teach yourself to stop measuring and comparing, you'll find out that this is true. Now, if you come to the college, there's more detail and more lessons and more little layers to peel off. But just do that. If you just do that, you're going to find tremendous relief in your life. Now, there's a lot more going on at my college than not judging, of course. But that's a very valuable piece to being happy and to finding happiness, because the core of who you are is unconditional love. It's unconditional joy and unconditional connection. But when we start judging others and judging ourselves, what happens is we start feeling disconnected. We don't want to connect with those things we don't like, and that unconditionalness goes away. Pretty soon we stop feeling unconditional love, right? And unconditional connection. But that's really what we're looking for if we're looking for a more spiritual life or for spiritual training. Spirituality for me is my sense of innocence. And that's just true on all levels. It's true on the level of, if I'm innocent, I'm happy. My wheels aren't spinning. I can just enjoy life. But also, if I'm innocent, I'm playing for a win-win. I'm not trying to make myself better by making somebody else less. And by looking for win-win situations in my interactions with people, that's where the magic really happens. Because when we're in win-win, when we're gathered together to lift each other up, we really do lift each other up. And when we're innocent and our wheels aren't spinning or filtering nonsense, we can find out what's really going on, which means intuition kicks in. Like you can suddenly know what's going on anywhere at any time because you're innocent. There's no filters. You can also manifest anything you desire at any time. Why? Because you're innocent. There's no filters. You don't feel guilty about manifesting your rent on the street. You know, you're kicking an envelope and you find your rent. Like, that's pretty fun. It's happened to me before. It can happen to you too. It's not what the training's about, but synchronicities and serendipity get amped up in huge ways. And in fact, serendipity and synchronicity is just the way of life when we're connected and unconditional. If you'd like to find out about this, come to the ybnlcollege.com, join up, get in. It's all solo training with faculty and with me. I'm there every day to answer your questions. It's an amazing thing you can do for yourself. It's really what I've been doing since the pandemic started, is getting my 10-month training online that people can do solo on their own. So that 10-month program was a lot of partnered exercises and a lot of group exercises, and it just took me a while to turn that around to bring them into solo exercises. So a lot of the exercises are things you do for yourself at home in your quiet time. Some of them are things you do out in public, you know, to see how your body language impacts other people. Everything we do at the college is so simple that we typically don't think it's going to do anything. Like, why would I want to do that? But then when you do it, you really learn a lot about yourself and about your connections to other people, and really about who you are right here, right now. And, you know, that's all I have to say about that. If you got this far, come to the college, check it out, the ybnlcollege.com, or come to yourbodyneverlies.org to get a little bit more information. I'm looking forward to seeing you in this training, because it's it got me to the place I was looking for, and I think you can get yourself to that same place, because this place I was looking for, it's basically happiness and connection. And, you know, what else is there? You want to be psychic? That happens naturally. You know, like, it just does. You want to be able to manifest things? That just happens naturally. It's going to happen when you start feeling innocent and start feeling connected and start feeling the unconditionalness of really everything that's happening here. Now, if you feel like pained and traumatized and you're really looking for spiritual healing, that really is the first part of the program at the college, because we really get to heal the effects of our history in order to enjoy being right here, right now. And being right here, right now is exactly what it's all about. So get on it, get through it. It takes about 6 months for a spiritual healing to fully effectuate. And I mean, fully effectuate, did I just invent that word? I mean, I have an exercise I teach, and you do the exercise every day. It takes a few seconds, and pretty soon you start feeling relief and you start feeling a lot better. But it takes, you know, several months to pull off all the layers to a point where your mind will not fall back into your history anymore, unless it's voluntary, unless you choose to. That is real freedom, when your mind no longer sucks you into old problems or issues that really aren't happening anymore anyway. You know, that's what we got here. So any questions, post them. Any comments, post them. Come to my college. I'm looking forward to meeting you. And, you know, we'll get this going. It's going to be a lot of fun to get through this, I promise.